the Thinkific team here. I'm working from home today, so it doesn't look like the studio usually. But we are here with a special guest. And so I'm going to be bringing her on here in 2 seconds. But I just want to make sure that we are we're on Facebook, it looks like. So if you guys can, first of all, just let me know that you guys can hear us. You can hear me. Let me know. Say hello in the comments. And also, I'm just going to check into YouTube here to make sure that we are good as well. So if you guys can hear me on Facebook and YouTube, let me know that you can hear me there. Feel free to say hello, type #new if this is the first time you guys are joining us on any of our lives, or hashtag Desiree. I know it's a little long, but Desiree, if you guys have been with us before, we would love to hear from you, and any questions you have throughout the live, I'll be watching the comments as we talk to Desiree. I've also left a link to our virtual summit that's going to be starting next week. So come register. It's free to register. There's going to be over 50 different speakers talking about all things around online courses. So make sure you register for that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Desiree in here. Hey, how are you, Desiree?
Hey, nice. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me be here with all of our Thinkific homies. How's it going, everybody? Happy Thursday. We're doing it, guys.
We're almost there.
Yes.
Awesome. I wanted to bring you on. I was on your Facebook Live stream last year, I think, and we were chatting, and I said, okay, next time we're gonna bring you onto our show and just share some of your story. You're a course creator, you're also a social media expert. So why don't you say hello and just kind of like introduce who you are, how you ended up, creating your courses and building this social media business.
Sounds great. My name is Desiree, guys. I am a military spouse, the wife of 2 insanely crazy spawn. I got 2 dogs, and I run a social media and video marketing agency called All-in-One Social Media, where we help boring businesses get their message seen in that cluttered newsfeed. We also have a mission attached to our business where we put military spouses to work as the social media managers for all of our clients so that they are able to work anywhere that they get stationed around the world. Now, how I got connected with Thinkific is in kind of a weird way. I actually met Rob and the rest of the Thinkific team at Social Media Marketing World 2018. They were kind enough to invite me to this really delicious breakfast that they had where they were doing like a mix of like potential customers and like current customers and veteran customers. And we were all just sort of intermingling and getting to know each other and like learning about the different courses and stuff that they were doing. So when my best friend came to me and she's like, hey, Desiree, we should totally make an online course together. I was like, I know just the platform for us to use for that. And so I actually am the marketing arm of this, the online course, which is absolutely nothing to do with social media and video marketing. It's actually called Train Your Bestie, which is a online dog training program from every phase of life that you have your dog, from puppy all the way into their senior years. And we help dog owners with the care and training that is needed to help them succeed with their dog. And it's for people that are looking to train their dogs, but don't necessarily have time to like go to classes. They don't want to pay the expensive fees of a private trainer. It's a good middle ground because we also have a community where they can ask our trainers questions, work through problems with our sort of, in addition to our foundation trainings that we have. And my partner is a super big pet professional. She's run a pet sitting business for 11 years. She has a grooming business. She's opening up a grooming academy. She literally nothing in the dog world or the pet world surprises her at this point. Like she has done it all. And so I just make it work. And she's sort of like the expert around that part of it.
Nice. Awesome. That's great. It's a good partnership, right? You do all of the marketing and she creates a lot of the content. So you guys, ended up talking. So then I guess, so she already had this business offline and then she's like, hey, Desiree, can you help me bring this thing online?
So she, at her grooming salon that she also has like a doggy daycare. And so she wanted to get the most out of the space. So in the evenings, she does training in person for people, but she was running into this issue where her training classes would be full, but people needed help with their dogs like now. So we created the course as like to fill that need. And then we also realized that there's all of these other people that would need this as well. And since Crystal is so familiar with the pet professional world and pet sitters and groomers, we kind of designed the course around being able to add extra revenue to their business. So they're able to resell our service through an affiliate program. And then we use the Thinkific platform to host both sides. So there's one side of it is for the pet owner, for the dog owner, so that they're able to go through the training. And then the other side that we use Thinkific for is we essentially are training our pet professionals, our groomers, and our pet sitters on how to add this program to their business so that they're able to make extra revenue through the program we've created. And so we have this whole section in Thinkific that's like, how to add this to your website. Here are the flyers. Here's how to add a logo. Here's your social media content for the month. Here's the video program. Everything that you need is like really buttoned up into the reseller program so that they're able to implement it into their business.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, I've actually seen a lot of course creators do it really well where they actually have a course specifically for affiliates. Okay, so like here are some of the ways that you can market your, market this to your list, and these are the links that you need and all the resources. Here's the banners and images that you would need. So it's a great strategy to make that as easy as possible for them to help sell your courses. That's amazing. So you mentioned that you also have a community, or this course also has a built-in community. So how do you guys strategize around that? Is that sort of like just included?
So it's membership based. So we charge people every month to be part of it. So you can either just buy the course and get what you need and hope that it's going to answer everything for you. But then we also have the community that's a monthly fee through the membership platform with Thinkific. So, and it's not a lot. I think it's like $15 a month. And then what they do is they get access to the trainers. We do bi-monthly AMAs with the trainers, but they're also able to just like post problems or videos and pictures about what they're going through, or like share their success stories. Like, I went through the training and now my dog does this, that kind of a thing. But then what we also do in the community is we also kind of try to keep things really topical and relevant. Like, okay, it's Valentine's Day month. It's February. Okay, so here are some things to make sure you pay attention to. Keep those chocolates away from your dog. It's the most poisonous thing that you can give to your dog. Don't do that. What are some, trainer and pet professional approved Valentine's Day presents for your pet, dealing with cold weather, dealing with, like, how did you take your dog out to go to the bathroom during the polar vortex? So we help address all those issues that are sort of topical that people don't necessarily. It's almost like because we were just talking about this, when you get a puppy, you're like, woohoo, I have this friend for the rest of their furry life, but there's so much that goes into it. It's like having not as complicated as a kid or as in-depth as a kid, but it still comes with its own marriage of issues and things that you have to work through.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. I want to talk about some of the things now that as a course creator. What are a couple tips? Somebody that's starting out. A lot of people that watch our Facebook Lives and YouTube Lives are just course creators that are sort of in the beginner stage, or they've launched their first course. But from your experience, what are a couple tips that you can give and share with starting an online course?
Really, one, if you're going to use Thinkific specifically, because this is what I know, of course, is you have to be in the Thinkific Facebook community for its members, because there's so much support that you get, not only from the Thinkific team, but the people that have been there. So you can go in and post a question and someone can give you an answer to help you work through it. So I think that has so much value to it. And it's one of my favorite parts about the Thinkific community and platform. As far as like the actual course itself, just know that you're going to make a lot of versions of your course to get it right. You might think like, oh, I have the perfect course and there's going to be no problem. Sorry, guys, I have dogs. And I work from home. You're going to have no problems with the course and it's going to be perfect right at the gate. That's so untrue. Like, you're going to have to really work through it. Someone's going to give you suggestions and things you should add, things you should do, all that kind of stuff. And so by having that, knowing that going into it, that you're going to have to make additions and changes and all that kind of stuff, know that that's going to happen, and that it's okay. It's okay to keep making it better and better and better.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think it's something that, yeah, a lot of people, when you're writing or creating anything, you want to make it perfect, just like your blog, anything, then you just have to start somewhere. It's similar to courses. You do have to create version 1, and then you will create
trash it and make version 2.
Yes, exactly. So version 2, once you get feedback, and this is something we talk about all the time, and successful course creators have created, version 1 and 2 and 3, and they, it gets better and better. So that's great. I want to talk about social media, because this is, I want to say, your primary business, I suppose. It's like all in, between the two. So you have all-in-one social media, and I'll put a link down to your Facebook group or Facebook page as well. And you guys should definitely check it out and connect with Desiree there. But yeah, talk to me about Facebook Lives, because you do Facebook Lives on a regular basis to build your audience. What is, what made you think of using Facebook Lives, first of all? Like, what, as a channel, as a means to build your audience? Why Facebook Lives?
So to backtrack with like how I got started with video and actually with podcasting, I read Amy Landino's book, Blog Like a Boss, when it came out. Like I couldn't consume it enough. I've actually have reread it and listened to it just to get refreshed on the content. And I knew I had to do video for my business. I've been doing social media marketing work since the late 2009s and into 2010. I really just kind of launched with doing that all the time. And I wanted to find a way to connect with people and have them come to me for my information and find me. And video was the way to do that. Now, after I read Amy's book, I was actually, because we are military, I was in the process of moving to Korea. So I had to table it. So I synced up the launch of my podcast and my YouTube channel with Veda Vlog Every Day in August. And I did that. So I went full in on it. Well, fast forward to after my first season of my podcast and kept on doing my videos with YouTube ongoing, I started really paying attention to how my fellow marketers and video creators were sort of creating content through live video and how they could be effective for them. And I was like, you know what? Facebook really likes live streaming. There's two sets of data I feel when it comes to Facebook video. One is short form content and what they're consuming, and 85% of people watch without audio and all that stuff. That's that created content. But when it comes to live, people will watch live stream. So there's on the replay, whether it's longer, and it kind of really plays that algorithm. And I was like, I should turn my podcast into a live show, but record my podcast live, and then just and to have one more way to share my content. And I turned to Owen Video to really nail down my flow and process, while also figuring out what worked for me on my own and what I could do, especially because my niche is boring business owners and the everyday business owner, while also partnering with marketers and stuff. And so I just made it into a live show. I made the decision, I put together my structure, I found a sponsor for my show, all these things, and I made it happen. And what I noticed with the live streaming is that it is such a great way to connect with people directly, position myself as a thought leader in my space, and it almost kind of gives you this credibility and seriousness that comes almost kind of being a TV show or something. It's literally a show. We have a time. It has paid sponsorship, all that stuff. And so it has to be done in a specific way, in a certain way. And so I really found that to be really effective. And to boot, it became another revenue stream for my business. I'm able to monetize my show because of the audience that I've created, the community that I've created, and people want to be a part of it. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't I add money? This doesn't a reason for marketing my business is to make money. Why not let the thing that I'm using to market my business make me money along with all the other stuff? So that's why I love live streaming. And I am literally, I am all in when it comes to live streaming. I have 3 shows right now I'm doing. I have the Marketing for Your Boring Business Facebook Live show, where I talk with people about how to market their boring business in any way, shape, or form, from marketers to actual boring business owners. I have the Modern Military Spouse show, which is in partnership with Army Wife 101. And we tell the stories of military spouses who are absolutely crushing it with their title of military spouses, while also supporting the mission and their families. And then I produce the weekly dog cast with Crystal, my business partner, for Train Your Bestie, where we focus on educating people about all things related to owning a dog, from their care to their nutrition to toys to products. We had a show today all about dog odors, like why they happen and how to safely eliminate them from the home. And again, it's a sponsored show, and it's another way for the business to make revenue while also providing valuable content and information for our community.
It's amazing. Yeah. So you basically covered all the reasons why. So, I mean, yeah, it's really smart the way you built it. I've been on your show. You have Ben, who comes in and gives like this daily tip. It's really well put together. It's really well produced. Behind the scenes, it's also a revenue maker for you, which is amazing. And it does put you up a little bit as an expert, right? It kind of gives you that automatic credibility that you're like, hey, you're doing this live. You're fielding questions live. You know your stuff. So
I think it's a blend of like quality along with the delivery that kind of that gives it credibility. I don't think that you can just like turn on the camera and say, I have a live show now. I don't think that actually works. And to the point, I'm at the point now where I've actually partnered with somebody. We're putting together a live streaming course around creating a live stream so that you're able to market your business and add revenue. Like they're literally hand in hand partnership for it. And it's like, you can do this in literally the matter of a week. So let's bust out through this, and it's so effective. And here's all the things that you can do to do that as well. So it's just one of those things that anyone can do, but you need to know what you do. It's like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's great. That's awesome. We'd love to hear when that is ready. And I think that's going to be a really useful resource for everyone, as how do you live stream, and so it's a live streaming about live streaming. So that's really awesome. I want to step into YouTube Live really quick. There is, sorry if I can't say your name right here, but AICX Medina. She says, hi, Desiree, good points. Still learning Thinkific, hope to launch soon. She'll be teaching brand identity and laying out my course right now, but already signed up for Thinkific. That's amazing. Congratulations. Let us know if there's anything that we can help with. Our support team is fantastic. So all you need to do is just email ninjas@thinkific.com. And like Desiree mentioned, make sure you join the Thinkific Studio Facebook group. It's a really, really awesome resource for anyone with any questions. Our community is really good inside there. So just hop on and find that. I'll drop the link there in a second. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, either for Desiree or myself. Super happy to answer any questions there. I want to ask you, when it comes to Facebook Live, you did say that you are now more, it sounds like you're very intentional with how you create this now, and it's very well produced, and even the content. How do you measure success with your Facebook Lives? What are some of the metrics, I suppose, if any, that you kind of look at, with them after the lives?
Yeah. So I look at a couple of different things. So I consider video to be like the foundation of marketing. And this is what has worked for my business and also for my clients. So we create a video, whether it is pre-produced video or whether it is a live show, that's like our foundation piece. And so we use that as sort of like the content master piece for creating content. Usually that lasts us about a week until the next show goes live. We focus on taking those clips and dissecting them into sort of scrollable content, like taking a quote from the show that was really great, creating an audiogram about it to promote the show, and doing that kind of things. We also always upload everything to YouTube natively, and then we make sure that it's optimized for search. And then we take that YouTube video and we embed it into a blog onto my website. And from there, it's able to optimize for search. If you and a competitor do a blog about the exact same thing, if you have a video in that blog, Google is, especially when it's with YouTube, Google is always going to give your website and your blog preferential treatment over that other guy's blog. So, if you can have video because it's so easy to do once you know what you're doing. And then to really kind of like make things sort of more measurable, you can boost it to your target demographic to make sure more people are seeing it. You can watch the analytics there about like how long people are watching for. All of our shows, I also attach bot marketing to. So we're growing our bot list as well. So we're able to see how many people are clicking into the show and responding to things from that bot. There's a lot of pieces that go into a live show once you continue to build and build and build upon it. And I think that the number one thing, though, to measure your success is who called you to give you money. Mm-hmm. Because, again, I love a good live show. I love my sponsors. I love my partnership. I love doing all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, all of us are doing this with one purpose in mind, and that is to make money. And I feel that is measured by the dollars and cents that gets put into your bank account from them finding, like, oh, I watched your show and it was so good. And this is da-da. Oh, I saw so-and-so was on your show and I had to check you out. Oh, I saw that you answered this tutorial question that I really needed answered on YouTube. And you know what? I just kind of wanted to see what you did. And I got led to your website and now I'm a client. So that's how I ultimately measure the success of my shows.
Very true. Very true. I like it. You know, sometimes people shy away from that part. It's just like, hey, it's about building an audience. And I mean, all those things are really important as well. You know, people aren't going to give you money unless they trust you and they like you. And I think obviously video and live video, where they can interact with you is a good way to really shorten that whole like time span that takes to get people to trust and like you and know you. So ultimately, yeah, you know, revenue and income and sales. That's a good measure for sure. So I think you've given us a lot of tips there on live streaming, but if somebody wants to start, you know, live streaming, what are some of the easy things that they can do? Any tools that you can recommend? I know that you used Be Live when we did ours, but any quick tips there?
So if you are looking to get started with live streaming, you have to do a series of things. So I'm going to give you some quick tips. Number one, you have to have a reason for your show. So for the Marketing for Your Boring Business show, it is to teach the everyday business owner about every marketing option that they have for them to find the one that's right for them. While I live and worship at the temple of video and social media marketing, sometimes a dentist is just going to benefit from search engine optimization or relying on the insurance companies to bring him customers. So we dive into all that. So that's the purpose of the show. You then need to establish a time. You have to literally go to your calendar and block out a time at the same time every single week to go live. It's just like the old school days of TGIF and SNCC and all of that, where like you knew Friday at 8 p.m. you were sitting in front of your TV on ABC to watch those 4 shows. It's the exact same thing here, guys. You have to be committed to a time to do it every single week. And my third tip for you is going to be, this is a show. This isn't you pulling out your phone and doing like a quick Graham story or being like, hey guys, I'm here doing this thing. No, this is a show. This is a marketing tool. This is for you to build your community and connect with your audience. So you need to make sure that you have your gear in place. And your gear does not have to be super fancy over the top equipment. You can legitimately go buy a Logitech webcam and a tripod and a ring light off of Amazon, all for less than probably like $150. And then you have, you set it up in your office or your studio in your house somewhere, and that's your go-to spot for your show every single week. Whenever you watch one of my live streams, you will almost always see me here. This is a very strategically set up set where I have my lighting, I've got my camera, I have a whole thing like in place for it. And so I know that my audience can count on my quality and to hear me, and that when they tune in at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays, they know that they're going to be able to hear me and see me and consume my content.
Amazing. Super, super good tips. So those 3 tips right there is have a reason for your show. Yes. So have a reason, like what are you trying to do? And establish a time, a regular time, just like TGIF, and then have your gear. So this is a show. Make sure you look good and you sound good. Those are great tips. I want to take one question before we start wrapping up here. This question from Ike's. Is giving free courses to entice more subscribers a good way to start? Or will that decrease my value as a teacher once I start asking for payments?
So when it comes to, so I'm going to use this reference actually with like Beyond Courses. So with the, we don't do like how we market the Train Your Bestie program is with our show. And so it relies a lot on partnership and education. People like, we're trying to basically say there's so much that goes in to owning a dog. Why don't you go to your course and make sure that you have foundational training, because a happy dog is a trained dog. Like if your dog is untrained, they're not going to be happy because you're going to be unhappy. And so we really focus in on that. We also, in our community, like I said, when you join our community, you get that AMA with the trainer and you're getting all of that information as a part of it. But you're talking about giving away free information. We live in a world where we expect the information to be free. If you're not giving something to somebody of value, they're not going to find value in you. Amy Porterfield has this great thing that she says when it comes to doing your email opt-ins. And she says, you need to give them something that is too good to be free. Mm-hmm. And so it's one of those things that like you really have to think about, what can I give to you that's going to prove my expertise and give them value so that they kind of keep coming back to me. My YouTube channel is literally tutorial after tutorial so that you're able to run your social media and online and video marketing yourself. Where I'm making money is going to be in the do it for you services that I have, or my coaching and consulting that I have. And for the live streaming course that we're building, we're literally going to have tutorials about like how to use different live streaming tools, but we're not going to be giving away our process is going to help you make your show money or lay out your show to be effective or dive really deep in. So it's kind of like you have to give them enough to be interested and to keep coming back to ultimately like, all right, I'm sold. Where do I give you my money?
Right. That's great. Yeah, I think, all those channels you're kind of showing the wow, like these are the things that you can do. And then the step-by-step, then you put them into your courses or you direct them to your courses. That's great. Hopefully that helps you with your question there, Ikes. If you have any follow-up questions, let us know. Drop them in the comments as well. And so as we wrap it up, I put in some of the links there to your website, to your course as well, Desiree. Can you let people know where they can connect with you online?
The best place to connect with me online is actually going to be on my YouTube channel. If you just go to youtube.com/Mrs. Desiree Rose, I put the link actually in the YouTube and I think on the Facebook link too. It's the best place to learn from me, and then everything else kind of stems from there.
Awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much, Desiree. It's been great. Always good to talk to you. Thank you so much. If you guys have any other questions, if you're watching us on the replay, drop your questions in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. Desiree's in our community, so I'm sure she will get wind of it as well. And we'll be making sure that she gets that so she can answer it for you. Thanks so much today, Desiree. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, and thank you for everything that you do, Rob. You just have made such a beautiful and wonderful, engaging community. And I hope that anyone who is thinking about doing anything with courses goes to Thinkific first, because it really isn't. It's not just a platform. It's not a platform. It's a lifestyle. Like, you gotta do it, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. We will talk to you soon. I'm sure we'll have you back on the show very soon again. Thank you.
Thank you.